So this was mulched about 3 or 4 months ago, just at the beginning of summer. So the moisture content has been a limiting factor to its ability to decompose, coupled with the trees and the plants around which have been absorbing the moisture. However, it started to break down. You can see how brittle some of this material is, which means that as soon as moisture does come, then it will be able to decompose quite readily and be that home, be that beautiful space for the microbes. So moving over into this part of the garden, which is more an exposed part of the garden, this material would have been laid down at a similar time. And so you can start to see as it's breaking down, some of this material in here is nice and damp and dank. So that's old cardboard that's now got fungal hyphae and different root systems from plants consequently growing through it. I'm sure it's got bacteria in it as well, but we can't actually see those being the microscopic little entities that they are. And then moving through the garden again, we can see different types of mulch coming into play. So down in here, there has been historically a lot of wood chips in here. So we can see the leftover components, and they're also really brittle and breaking down beautifully. Evidence again that we've got microbial activity living in amongst all that action, and also therefore then feeding all the other aspects of the soil web that pursue and go on from that, all those larger macro environment insects and inhabitants. We've got some more decomposed material here in terms of manure mixed with soil. It's actually been through that semi-composting element, so any of the organic material in here is thoroughly broken down. That in terms of a mulch will be quite useful because of its diversity. So it's going to be more prevalent, and bacteria are going to like this space much more than if it was a wood-based material. That will also have quite high nitrogen, so it will bring with it that aspect of availability for plants that are growing in it as well. And then moving across over here, we can see evidence again of other sorts of compost and material that has been used. So there's some eggshells that have started to break down, delivering calcium. Calcium is really useful in a plant, particularly because it doesn't actually move through a plant readily. So once a plant takes calcium up, it can't translocate it from the old leaves into the new ones. It has to pretty much stay put. So you have to deliver it through the microorganisms who offer that delivery mechanism. You have to provide it and make that available. Again, good reason to add that diversity of mulch so that you've got that to draw from for the plant's root systems. And then over here to the more recently mulched material, where what we've got it on the edge of some cardboard. So there's been some green material under here, perhaps the old patch of old tomatoes, and this has been, the cardboard's been placed on top as a smothering aspect with the recently cut hay. And this won't be planted into until at least 6 months' time, when it's all thoroughly decomposed. But what I'll do on top of this now is I'll add some wood chips on top of this, and that will create that diversity of mulch. So we've got the wood-based material in the terms of the wood chips for the fungi, we've got the grass material for the bacteria, and then we've got the cardboard, which is holding on to that nitrogenous green material that we've just smothered, and will be that interface and start that decomposition in the presence of that nitrogen as well. To couple it, what we'll do is we'll leave that all to decompose and break down, and for other organisms to inhabit, creating that vital soil. We'll leave that to break down for a couple of months and then plant through it so that we've got all those beautiful plants, root systems feeding that hopefully now vital soil.